I like the English translation. I didn't read it before. I read it in Spanish. And here it uses the word being slave. That for our culture, it's something that we don't use that much. And even it's, would say, a bad word. Slavery is what we try to finish in many ways. But I like the word because nowadays I believe that we are more slave of, I would say, a ladder that moves us to lose our life without realizing it. And the ladder has 3 steps. The first step is riches or richness, as Jesus somehow says. But the thing is that richness, or to live my life mainly moved to have riches, is the first step. I'm not saying that we don't need things and we don't need money. In our current culture is the way that we handle things for a good quality of life. The point is, if it has somehow a place in my heart, in my life, that is the most important thing. No matter the motive, because I'm afraid, because I come from a family that passed through a very poor past, because I'm afraid of not having enough, or because I am in a very risky business and things can get worse. The point is the seek of richness of things. And when I say things, it's not only money, it's knowledge, certain type of relationships, people I hang around with, consuming. Second step, subtly be very, very caught on or slave of seeking for fame, honor, too worried about what other people think about me. In my workplace, in my neighborhood, even in my family sometimes. After seeking richness and be too aware of my own honor, third step that comes naturally is subtly believing that I am superior than others. In Spanish it's soberbia. I don't know if it's soberb. It's a word in English. Yeah? It's like feeling superior than others. Yeah? And after that, everything that can be of a human life, it's gone. So the response of Jesus is another 3 steps. Poverty, it doesn't mean poverty of like not having things. It's to cultivate a reasonable heart that is not caught on things, not caught on the seek of knowledge, of the seek of consuming, or the seek of some type of relationships. Everything that I can put my hands like this. Second step is humiliation, but not seeking for them. Is not to be worried about what other thinks of me. The third step that will come with us is being humble or humility, that it's an open heart. So the question is, and it's not a moral question, it's a faith question. How I am free enough from things? Which things that I have at home, I don't really need them, but I seek them. Which things that I get through Amazon, I don't really use them. I'm aware that in anything that I consume, things start being my masters. It's not that I belong to them, not they belong to me. And I produce garbage. and I believe that having things, I'm going to be more happy. I will have a more fulfilled life. Do I need more freedom from those things? Not be a slave from those things? Second question. I am free enough for others' opinion on myself? Am I too worried about what other people think? In my working place, in my community, in my family? Is the others' opinions, expectations, or whatever has too much weight on me? Am I caught like this? Am I a slave of it? The third question is, do I have freedom from myself? Because who believes he or she is somehow superior from others will become a person that tries to control everything, that starts to believe that nothing can be done without his or her presence, that we are so important that nothing can be done without us. So the way of the gospel, that is freedom. Be free of myself, free from others, free from things, and not for nothing, to seek the reign of God. So that I can act freely, constructing a place where everybody has a place, where everybody is treated as a human being. No matter what he or she has or thinks, or the color of their skin, or their sexual orientation, or their politics. These three ladders act in a very subtle way. That's why it's not that easy to recognize them. But once you go step by step, your life can be a surviving life being slave, or a free son or daughter of God with a bigger heart, open to construct the reign of God that will be fulfilled in heaven. So I invite you to have an exam, but not moral. When I say moral, it's not that I must be. It's try to recognize what happens to me, so that I recognize the way of the world that are making me a slave of these three dynamics, so that I can be more free. Because being more free can be more open to God, to others, and to the real life. Amen.